Well, hello, everybody. This is session 30 of season 1 of Bridging Generations with Howard Snooks. And I am Howard Snooks. And here is my guest for the day, Rhiannon O'Donnell.
Hello. How are we?
We're doing well, Rhiannon. And Rhiannon is a person who I've known for a couple of years, not really well, but we mostly is through sharing lunches and stuff together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask her, there's a lot of things I don't know about Rhiannon, so I'm going to ask her. But of course, I always start with an Irish joke. And I always try to, make the joke somehow pertinent to the person.
To whoever it is.
So,
okay.
And I think Rhiannon O'Donnell sounds kind of Irish to me.
A bit, yeah.
Okay.
Proper Boston brat.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so what do you call an Irishman who bounces off the walls?
What?
Ricochet.
Ricochet. Very good. I like it. There you go. Okay.
Okay, Rhiannon. So here we are starting. We have 45 minutes or so to have a chance to get to know you.
Beautiful.
And the focus or the structure of this has to do with how to have an authentic relationship with people from different generations.
Yeah.
And I think you're perfectly situated in your work.
Yeah.
And also, so you'll tell me about your work and how that is. I know you have a big birthday coming up here next month. And that'll be fun to talk
big
about.
3-0.
Yeah, the big 3-0.
Yeah.
So let's just get started with that. You grew up in suburban Boston?
Grew up, greater Boston area, north of if you know where Andover, like Phillips Academy, that area. Grew up there. Went to high school over in France.
In France?
Which is great. I did a wily little 15-year-old, big old world, had to go see it. So went abroad, figured out how.
And you did all 3 years?
I did 2. So 1, and then it kept going. It really, really fit with my host family, this is all about bridging generations. My host parents are very, very cool, wonderful people. So.
Was this in Paris or elsewhere?
So, no. The luckiest.
Not Emily in Paris.
Luckiest placement in the world, right on the Riviera, cool. On the water.
Very cool.
That's
great.
I know, about 30 minutes west of Saint-Tropez.
Okay.
Not a bad spot.
Well, I went to grad school in Massachusetts.
Oh, you did?
At Smith College.
You went to Smith?
Yep.
Cool.
So they have a really good social work school. So I got my MSW and PhD from Smith. I
actually remember you talking about that.
Yeah, that was our get to know you.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since we had that big get to know you.
So you were there for how long? A couple of years, Boston?
Well, I lived in Somerville 1 year. Then I moved back to Durango, Colorado, my hometown for a while. Then I got accepted at Smith. And the way they do it, you're just there in the summer times for the coursework. And then they send you off across the United States for various field work. So I spent 1 academic year in Cleveland at the big public hospital in Cleveland. And the rest were in Denver.
Okay. Right back home.
Back home again. Yep.
There you go. Huh.
So tell me about growing up near Andover.
Andover was interesting. So I grew up with my dad raised me. I don't know my mom. I met her once. But he bought the house next to my aunt and uncle, his sister. And so I grew up with my cousin, grew up with my family there. My grandmother was in a house in the area too. We called it the compound.
I was going to say, it sounded like a family compound.
It was great. We loved it. Good way to grow up. It was like my cousin's like my little sister, and she's a trip. So it was, kind of an interesting way to grow up. It gave a lot of different lenses of how to look through things. Wow. And because Andover's very, it's got the.
So your dad was both your mom and your dad?
He was. Yeah, he's a wonderful man.
Wow.
He is, I've never met anybody who has got that work ethic. He's an amazing, amazing person. So. What
does he do for a job?
He's a lineman. He's been a lineman for 30 years.
Like Wichita lineman?
What's Wichita?
It's an old country song. I'm a lineman for the county.
Just that. Yeah, the big poles. And I know he spent his life kind of traveling around the country and just doing those, like the big lines, the big constructions across, like straight through the Rockies and hanging from helicopters over the ocean, that kind of thing. So he's done very, very interesting work.
Yeah. So mentor number one, my dad.
Dad. Yeah.
Well, can you sort of, like, one of the things that'd be fun is sort of picture a vignette, sort of like a scene between you and your dad, something that would really demonstrate what your relationship was like with your dad.
Oh gosh, I think he's the most loyal person. Loyalty. That's really just been a vignette. If there were one thing, he's funny.
Oh, is he?
He's funny.
No, see, I'm a sucker for a funny person.
Oh, he's a funny guy. So I would say something like he's quick. He's always got a one-liner. He's always got a follow-up. And no, one show only. And I'm like, all right.
And he's an Irishman.
He's an Irishman. Irish
Yep.
Italian. Half Irish, half Italian.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
boy.
that's Boston brat, which is good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is funny though. Now being out in Colorado for I don't know 8+ years. We're coming on 9. I didn't realize he had an accent until now. I've been out here long enough, and he'll come out and I'm like, oh boy, wow, you really do have a Boston accent.
Well, no, I don't hear much of a Boston accent.
My dad.
Oh, you're talking about your dad.
Yeah, it's always
He's got one. Yeah.
He's got one. But yeah, just salt of the earth. Like, just wants to build and take care of and like create. And it's funny because I think he has this like he sees himself as a very like stable rock, and he is.
Mhm.
But he's so creative, and so like building motorcycles, building houses, building like whatever it might be. He's just able to build and create in the physical world, which is wonderful.
He's a bold and courageous man too, to
Yes.
take on raising a child
You're
by
not
himself.
kidding. I know. He'd work 70 to 90-hour weeks, keep the house, and raise me. And he'll give you the shirt off his back. He's a wonderful person.
So were you a difficult child to raise?
I don't think as a child. I think
Not as a child.
really hit once once the teen years came. He was like, ooh.
So tell us one story that happened when you were a teenager.
Oh gosh. I think it was just like he always envisioned, he just wanted me home and safe. And I was like, oh, hey, I think I'm going to move across the world alone. And I want to go to France. And he's like,
That was a funny.
okay. And so it took a lot of convincing, but it was through the Rotary Club was the initial exchange. And so just the safety aspect, it was always like, okay, is it, he needed to know who I was with and that it was going through proper channels and I was taken care of and I was in school. And it was funny. As soon as I got to France, I met, you're supposed to go through 3 host families in this program. And I did, but then I met who would have been my 3rd host family pretty immediately. Because they were part of the Rotary Club, and my host dad Manu and 4 French sisters, and my host mom Natalie. And when I met them, so the twins were 12. Maëlle was like 13, 14. I was 15, and then Amélie was 18. So it just fit right in, and it made more sense for me to spend the time with them. And then
they liked it. They were all for it.
it was just, I mean, they're still like my family today.
Well, I was going to say that's enough time to really feel like.
Oh yeah,
they've gotten into your heart that way.
very much so.
Yeah.
And it's continued where we'll go like we'll do trips, family trips all together, and we went to Egypt for Christmas a couple of years ago.
Now, has your dad met them?
That was the funny part, because my dad doesn't speak French.
Right.
And so I remember he came out. I was there for, it must have been, it was Easter. So I went over in August, I think, and then so wrapped all the way around. And I was really, I fully spoke French then. I didn't speak a lick of it before I went. And then he had just Zoomed, I think at the time, just, FaceTimed over a computer. And Manu, the 2 dads, they loved each other.
Oh, God.
They got on so well. It was so funny because they're both just, they love their girls. And, like, they're just girl dads. And so my dad was like, okay, great. You're in good hands. Love it. But he came over, and they have a beautiful home. It's up on a mountain overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. And it's homey. And it's like we all cooked together every day. And that was something that we did at home as well growing up. But my dad came out, and there's this big sliding glass doors. There was an outdoor kitchen. My host mom, Nat, and I were just, chit-chatting, cooking, prepping, and all that kind of stuff. And we hear neither of them really spoke. Like my host dad didn't truly speak a ton of English, and then my dad barely spoke. And they just got louder and louder and louder. They were trying to commit. But they loved each other. So yeah, it's been a wonderful addition.
You know, people do that when they're not being understood. They talk louder, as if that will make a difference.
It's just so funny. Yeah. My husband and I were looking at each other like, oh my goodness. And they were laughing. I mean, they were laughing their heads off.
But you learn also how there are other kinds of communication.
Yes.
When you don't know the language,
Yeah.
there are other ways people convey.
Very much so.
Like I was just in Spain. I'm going to end up living
Ooh.
part-time in Spain.
Where?
In Cadiz.
Cadiz. Very nice.
And I have this project that this friend and I are going to do.
Cool.
My friend does not speak English. And I did take 6 years of
Spanish.
high school and junior high Spanish. And then I did an intensive class in Guatemala one time.
Fun.
But I realized was pretty limited. Like to listen to a native who just is talking away.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh, man, I don't know a lot of stuff that I had that Dunning-Kruger effect, you know,
Yeah.
where I thought I knew a lot more than I did.
But if you're moving there, you'll pick it up.
But when you have to, and it kind of happened for you, right?
Absolutely. I think it's the best way to learn. I mean, it depends on some people they learn in different ways, different learning styles, but very much I'm experiential. And so going there's no better way to do it. I went to a French school and took my courses in French.
So it wasn't an international school.
No, it was not.
Oh, wow.
So it was it was just a French school. It was a Catholic school. Lycée de Maintenon.
What did you have to wear? A blazer and everything?
No, actually, it was just normal.
Just regular clothing?
Just regular. But
was it a girls' school or
no,
girls
it wasn't.
and boys together?
Girls and boys.
So the cute French boys were there?
You know, there was one very cute.
Was there what?
I saw him a couple of years ago too. We went back
you?
and we went out and got a drink, and he was like, "Oh, I always had a crush on you." I was like, "Ditto, that's great." So,
oh God, that's really.
Oh, it's fun. It's really fun.
I mean, that's such a sweet memory to have, don't you think?
It is. It's endearing.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, the language aspect. I mean, you're just trying to figure it out for a while, but within 6 months, your brain switches into it and you get used to it. And so I think you're going. It'll be, how long are you there for? You're moving.
Well, I'll be half the time there and half the time here. Like every couple of months, go back and forth.
Oh, you'll sink into it. You're gonna be a proper.
We're gonna do a YouTube cooking channel.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What?
Yes. So we're gonna tour around, review restaurants. We're gonna go do some cooking. We're gonna go to celebrities' homes and cook in their homes.
You're kidding.
No.
Are you a cook? Do you
I'm
love
not.
to cook?
He is a really famous chef, but I'm sort of like the sous chef sort of guy that tells the jokes on the side.
You're the entertainment.
The entertainment.
Beauty. You're like, here are the brains. This is the beauty
right.
and the entertainment.
Right.
That's you. I love that. That is actually, I want to know when, and I might try and knock my way in. I love to cook.
Do you really?
Love it.
Oh, do you?
Well, but in France, that was one of the best things. It really, I learned so much.
Yeah. Well, this guy has a catering business, and he catered for the King of Spain.
Wow.
And when it was National Women's Day in New York in March, he got hired to be the caterer for National Women's Day.
You're kidding.
No.
How cool.
So he's got his street cred.
I should say.
And I'm going to walk along on his coattails, and sort of get in on it.
I love it. So a YouTube series. Do you have the first couple episodes planned?
2 episodes are already in the can.
Ooh.
But we've got a whole bunch scheduled. He's
Can you
coming.
give me a teaser?
Pardon me?
Can you give me a teaser? Or is this black box? Very, very
Well,
fun.
what would be... This is just an interview of me. He was in his garden in Spain, and he was interviewing me just about who I was and stuff. But our first interview, I think, will be in my kitchen, where we're going to prepare. And see, the idea is, I'm from this old pioneer ranching family in Colorado. Yeah. So I'm going to do this sort of barbecued ribs and, brisket and enchiladas, Mexican style. And then he's going to perform, all this magical Spanish cooking, the tapas.
They really know what they're doing over there.
They know what they're doing.
The Spanish know what they're doing.
They really know what they're
doing. For
doing.
sure.
So we're going to compare that, and then I'm going to talk in English. He's going to talk in Spanish. I'll translate for him, and he'll translate for me. it'll just be this really fun thing.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
When are you going?
Well, he's coming here in September.
Mhm.
And so we're going to start a tour of Colorado, start Boulder. We have
Ah.
several projects in Boulder,
Okay.
Denver, Colorado Springs, Durango, Farmington, New Mexico, where they have a Navajo restaurant.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
Santa Fe will end
Love
up for
Santa
the
Fe.
first round. And then we'll go over to the ski areas, Breckenridge,
Oh, okay, cool.
Aspen, Vail, that area.
Proper Colorado
Telluride.
tour.
Yeah.
Telluride.
Yep.
Durango. You're from Durango. That is.
Isn't it a pretty town?
It's a special place. Uray
is,
is
it
just
is.
in general. Is,
Yeah.
that was.
No, I feel so blessed that
mhm.
well, you know, where one line of my family came from. Do you know where Topsfield is, Massachusetts?
I was like Topsfield, Mass.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
of course I do.
I
It's like-
figured you did.
20, 30 minutes from my house.
The famous fair, I think. Is
Topsfield
held.
Fair. Yeah.
But that's where my 14 times great-grandfather lived.
You're kidding.
No.
So
no.
your family's been here for a long time.
I have, like, my mother's and my father's families have both been in Colorado since 1859.
Wow.
But they previously were either in New England or
Yeah.
Virginia. They came
Generally how
in
people get it.
like really early on.
Wow.
I have one ancestor who was in Jamestown in 1608.
Jamestown, Rhode Island?
Well, Jamestown's not in Rhode Island. It is in Virginia.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, Providence. And then I have this famous ancestor from Massachusetts,
Hmm.
Anne Marbury Hutchinson. Have you ever
Right.
heard of Anne Hutchinson?
No.
Well, there's a statue of her in front of the Boston State House.
Oh, you're kidding.
And what
What
happened?
did she do?
She was a scholar of the Bible. And so she came in the early 1630s to Massachusetts Bay Colony.
Your family's been here a long time.
And they're either famous or were in jail. So I get all this
Very
detail
good.
about them too. It's always good to have
There's a
someone
lot
who
there.
went to jail.
A lot to
in your
unpack
family, 'cause
on
you get
that one.
all this information.
It's so funny.
But what she did was, I always say she started the first women's book club
Beautiful.
because she held meetings after the sermons
Yeah.
telling how the minister was doing things wrong, saying he did not really grasp this.
God bless her.
So she was eventually arrested and charged with antinomialism,
You're kidding.
meaning she thought she knew more than God.
No, just the pastor.
But she was found guilty and she was exiled from Massachusetts Bay Colony.
You're kidding.
So she went with Roger Williams to Rhode Island.
with Roger Williams.
With Roger Williams.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh. An established. That's amazing.
And she ended up unfortunately was massacred by a roving band of Native Americans. She moved
She lived an interesting life, and I like that for her.
Right. Her daughter actually was stolen by that tribe that massacred her. So that was my 13 times great-grandmother.
Wow.
And some Dutch explorers found her and brought her back. I don't know what the story was on that, if she wanted to go or didn't, because she'd been with the Native Americans for some time. But anyway, that's how my family, that line got started,
And then, that's amazing.
then ended up in Colorado after, 9 or 10.
Was it the pioneer kind of?
Yeah,
Wow.
the Great Migration, they
The Great
call it.
Migration.
Yeah.
You did the Oregon Trail and all that.
Yeah.
No dysentery for your family. You guys made it.
Well, so you've mentioned now several mentors.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear about some more, or some that might have been challenges, people that created issues that you had to overcome to continue your journey.
Absolutely. I mentioned my host family. I think my host mom was my host mom.
Oh, okay.
Nat, she's just, I feel like she taught me how to be a person.
Wow.
I resonated with her, and she recognized, she was just so, she is so strong of mind. She has such a strong sense of self. She is, and she just was like, enjoy your life, live it, go do all of the amazing things, travel, build, create. And there's always time. She's like, wait to have kids, just have them, but enjoy your life and build it and really be your own independent. And she's smart. She's quick as a whip. She's entrepreneurial. She has an amazing practice for a nursing practice.
Oh, is she in a nurse?
Yeah, but in France, I think it's a bit. She owns where nurses work for her and they go and
Oh, I
do
see.
house calls.
Like
And
like they do have visiting nurses
visiting
associated.
nurses.
It's sort of a
Yeah.
visiting nurse thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I think she's got 50 nurses that work for her,
Wow.
and she travels, and she's an amazing athlete, and she's funny, and it is funny because she's so lighthearted, and I remember, but very grounded, but you can't rock her. Where there was a very funny thing that happened where
Okay, let's hear it.
God, it's oh lordy. So Wednesdays are half days in France. It's more of a block schedule. And you have, 2-hour lunches or sometimes whatever it might be. So Wednesdays I would get back to the house before everyone else. And sometimes Nat and I would be there together and we'd have lunch, we'd cook, we'd have a glass of wine out on the terrace and whatever it might be. But she had texted me, hey, can you cook dinner? Just put the fish and like endives into the pressure cooker, just get it started. And I was like, okay, great, absolutely. Well, it's about 7 minutes that's necessary, and it's a pot on the stove to cook that. And I put it on the stove, set it, walked out, promptly forgot about it, went for a run, came back, took a shower. I believe and then I was laying down taking a nap. Must have been like 7 hours later. And I just hear it like an actual explosion upstairs.
The pressure cooker.
Oh, it melted all the plastic. The plastic burned. It was like fume. It just spewing all of this, burning plastic smoke. The place.
And fish carcass.
Oh no, there was nothing left. Are you kidding? I opened up the door, brought it out, and I'm panicked. And of course, everyone walks in as soon as that happens because it was so funny. But opened it up after it eventually, had cooled down or pried it open. There was a metal rack and like it was just like carbon. Ooh. It was just, there was nothing left. It reduced it down to, oh gosh. But then everybody walked in, the house was your eyes were burning because it was plastics. It was smoke from plastic. It was horrible. And oh goodness. And everybody walks in and my oldest host sister, Amelie, it's just like, and you could see how agitated and like all angry, like that was her initial reaction. And they all walked in and she was like, what is going on? And Nat just looked around and she just laughed. And it broke and it shifted all of us. Amelie went from, I saw it in her eyes from this to, and like, just that level of lightness that you can bring to a situation it's like, okay, you can laugh at things that happen.
You were really vulnerable in that situation.
I love that.
And she sort of like rose to the occasion.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She cut the tension and she was like, this is okay, it's fixable. And then now it's that joke is told every son. Yeah, I will never live that down. That will live forever.
Wow.
That's a good thing.
Well, she came at a good time in your life, I think.
She really did.
When I'm thinking of a teenager raised by her dad who did a great job,
job. I was close with my grandmother and my aunts, but still, it was different. She took responsibility. That it's not just responsibility over my safety, but she took me in.
She took you in
a very real way. So she's very much like a mom, a mother figure, which is lovely.
Wow.
And it's fun. It's fun to check in and see her. And it is also where she'll laugh, but all the girls, 4 girls, 5 when I'm there, and just yapping. And then when Nat puts her foot down, everyone's like, oh, okay. All right.
So she had a steel interior.
She is. Yeah.
Huh.
No, she's very cool.
This makes me wonder, what was it like when you met your mom for the first time?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Surprisingly enough, so I was 16, and she lived in Alaska. And it was right before I was turning 16, I believe. It was the summer of, and we flew to Alaska, my dad and I did. And
how did the connection end up happening? Like, how did
my dad had just asked me, he was like, do you want to meet your mom?
Really?
Like, sure.
Really?
Yeah, but I'd had such a full life, and I'd had my family around me, so it hadn't felt too much like there was a space there. And when I met her, I think the most surprising thing is that it's it's just another stranger. Talk about bridging generations. It's like sitting down with you, except there's a connection apparently there of this, that it's not like, oh wow, you meet somebody and you're like, it's not immediate.
I guess there's a space for a connection, but there's not really
Sure.
a connection yet.
It was just a curiosity
Yeah.
of who is this person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like meeting anyone else that you don't know. Like, who are you?
What
Which was interesting.
did you wonder about what it would be like? I mean, I will guess you did wonder about what it would be like before it happened.
Sure. I suppose. I'm thinking back. To meet her?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I ever really, really, really wondered. I think I had curiosities about what her story was and what happened and why and all of the different pieces. But in that, my dad was always very open and fairly honest and just saying, she loves you dearly. It's just, this is what's best. And I was like, okay, fair enough. And I met her, and she did express, she was like, I've always loved you deeply. And it's it was how I liked her seeing that I was where I was at that point in life, and like who I'd become, and that I was happy and settled and creative and going out into the world and feeling steady enough to go do those things. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And you have not kept up contact with her?
No, I've not. I think, she's had an interesting life. And one thing that I'm actually very, very excited about, and I haven't done it yet, I have siblings, half siblings, her children that I've not met. Wow. I know. And so.
How many are there?
A lot.
A lot?
I'm the youngest of 7 on her. Wow. I know. And so I've connected with, I think it's 5 brothers, one sister. And I've connected with them for years. Around that time, my dad had told me, oh, you should talk to Angela. She's your sister. And I talked to her on Facebook, and we kept up. And now those are people I'm so excited to one day, I think soon, in my 30s, like probably the 30th year, I want to go do a tour and meet them. And just kind of, I have been able to, get in touch with them, and they just seem like lovely people who are out doing their own lives, and it'll just be nice to connect there. It is different generations, though. I believe Angela's she must be 50. She's about 20 years older than I am.
So, okay, there's a story there.
There's a lot
You
there.
were born after the rest were born.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, well.
So it'll be fun. We can come back and I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, I want to, now wow.
I know.
That is like there's a drama to it.
I think it is interesting. I think it'll be people are like, that's like a book. That's like and I'm like, who knows? Maybe it will be. That could be it'll be a fun story. And so it's fun to see that there's quite a bit ahead. But.
Well, I had close relationships with my cousins too. We were the city cousins living in Durango in town, and then my cousins all lived.
Big city.
My cousins lived on ranches, but
That's
there was this one. My cousins, Jimmy, Donna, and Linda were my best favorite cousins.
Jimmy, Donna, and Linda.
And Jimmy was the coolest guy. He was 9 years older than I, but I just thought he is the coolest guy. He was in a rock and roll band.
Oh, naturally. Of course he's the coolest guy.
And Linda and Donna now are widows who live in Bayfield, which is outside of Durango, a small town.
Okay. Not the big city.
No, they're the town cousins.
Okay, gotcha.
But they're widowed now. They live together. They have this really sweet house, and I go and see them all the time. Jimmy has unfortunately passed away. He had a lot of promise, but he ended up being an alcoholic, and he died of, it was just like an awful story. But anyway, one day my cousins, Linda and Donna, get this letter or an email or something from a woman who lived in Alaska. She says, well, I've done my family tree DNA, and I have found out that your brother Jimmy was my father.
Stop.
So she came from Alaska to go visit them. And it was just like the coolest thing to have this reunion with them. I went down, they had a big family reunion. So
have you done the ancestry, the DNA thing and all? I went deep into that. A friend of mine had said, kind of a similar story of my family. Turns out we were, like Mayflower, like lived in Boston. And I mean, I'm from Boston, so he was like, he thought I'd be interested. And it made me curious, and I deep dived. into really recently. I went in.
It's a rabbit hole.
So much
You
fun.
could just go in and not come out until days later.
But it turns out we were like, my family came over from Italy in like 1902. But not
1902?
yeah, not long ago. And so I'm seeing if I can.
Ellis Island, probably.
Ellis
then.
Island, specifically Ellis Island.
But
And
you
it's-
have that detail that the Ellis Island is a really good way to learn a lot.
Oh
about
yeah,
your family.
and the what was it? The Dalmastros, that line. And so my grandmother, so I'm my dad's mother, excuse me. I'm her, like, no one in our family looks like me except for my grandmother.
Oh, interesting.
Just same thing. I mean, mirror image, copy paste,
Wow.
like face, hair, all just everything.
Yeah.
And she was a spitting image of her father. And I guess, and what I've heard, and the generational thing where I never got to meet him. This is my great grandfather.
Mhm.
And I so wish I could, because I've heard, so number one, I look just like him. But I guess we have the exact same personality too.
Oh, geez.
It's just the, like, yeah, loving to host, be social, be like taking, like wanting to build, going to, like, I would have loved to have met him. That would have been so deep diving on his life and finding where he was born.
You know, I just read
That's
something
fun.
about that they've done these studies of adopted children. And when they, do these personality traits things, they find they have much more of their natural parents' personality traits than they do their adoptive parents, which I just think is so interesting.
Apples and fall far, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Gosh, no, that would, so who would you like to, who would you like to meet and have dinner with? Alive or
Me?
dead?
Well, this Anne Hutchinson person really,
Right?
she seems so
She
interesting
seems
to me.
fun.
But then the other guy, Francis Bates, the guy who was from Topsfield, his wife, her mother had died in England, and her grandfather lived not in Topsfield, but he was a town crier in a town very close to Topsfield.
Okay.
And so
I believe that's Essex County. It's not.
it was in Essex County.
Yeah.
And so she moved to England, I guess came by herself to live with her grandfather. He died, and in his will, he left her £5, which I guess is about the equivalent of $10,000 nowadays. It's
Sure.
like
A nest egg, something
that's
that,
nice. It's
sure.
but her aunt fought this and claimed that my 14 times great brother had talked him into doing this. And so they had a court case about it.
She was,
And she won, and then they left for
the aunt
Kings.
did.
No, she stayed. But the Francis Bates and his wife Anna moved to North Kingstown, Rhode Island. But
Okay.
so I have two stories to tell you about this. But guess who the aunt ended up being? One of the Salem witches who was killed.
You're so cool. Your family's fun. I love that.
So
My dad, he moved after I did from Andover. He lives if you know where, like, Gloucester, Rockport.
yeah,
Yeah. So he's in this little, it's a sleepy little village
fishing village
called Magnolia. And
Magnolia.
Magnolia. And it's this little untouched corner of the world that really nobody knows about. And it's quiet and beautiful, and it's just it's lovely. But it's about 20 minutes from Salem, and so I don't know, I'm heading home soon. Summer's there. Boston's the most beautiful place in the world, like 3 months out of the year.
And one of my weaknesses is fried clams. And you just can't get fried clams. I love them. And it's not like I have to eat them all the time, but just to have
the big, like,
basket on a in a clam shack right on.
Oh boy, do I. Well, I'm excited because we'll go pull the traps. We'll set the lobster traps, go out with a little mooring out in Mag Harbor, which is this tiny little.
Well, lobster rolls are number 2.
Oh, yeah. For me. Gosh, I'm always trying to get my dad to send him out, like, because he's going every day pulling traps. He'll set more, go pull, and then he gives them to all the neighbors.
Well, back in Francis Bates' day, the workers all had a revolt because they fed them lobsters way too much.
But they overcooked them too.
Well, but there's probably it's just like they were called, what they call them, something of the sea,
like bugs.
Yeah, the bugs.
Bugs of the sea.
It's like it does not have the cachet.
They're little creatures for sure. They're funny things. Sea creatures, you got, yeah, I don't know. Think of like agriculture though. And living by the sea predated, and pulling from the sea and eating from the sea, that predated agriculture. And
well, tell me this: what's it like? Many people speak longingly of the ocean when they're living, in Colorado.
Yeah, I miss it.
It's tough, isn't it?
It is. I find that here. So I mean, I was an athlete. I've always been an athlete. And one of the reasons I came out here was to snowboard, to compete. But then
competing
to go to the university at the same time, and it was but I found Boulder's lovely, so of course I stayed. I couldn't leave. It's what happens. It's the trap. You can't get out once you're here. It's like, the bubble.
Niwot's curse.
Niwot's curse. It's true. It's too nice here. But when I'm out doing exercising, getting out, and and it's important. It feels good, and you need that mind, body, spirit. Being outside the snowboarding, so it feels so good. It just clears my mind, and there's nothing else there, and you're just kind of in it. But everything out here to get out, get exercise is you're literally exerting force against rock. It's so harsh here.
Well, that's poetic.
That's what you think.
Well, that's interesting.
I'll write a poem about it.
Yeah. Wow.
But going home, it's just, surfing, or I find it I will often get on a plane and then go home and just go straight to the beach, even if it's evening, and just stare into the abyss.
The sound.
Running into the ocean, and just there's nothing else like it. Or surfing, there's nothing else like it. I miss it. There's just an ease to it. Your body kind of flows differently. I do well in that climate as well, kind of more humid climate. It's dry out here.
Well, did you go to CU undergrad then?
I did.
Did you?
I did. I studied biochem.
Biochem. And what do you do now? I don't even know what your job is.
My job?
Yeah.
I am chief of staff at a company called 1089.
Say that again?
1089.
Ah.
We think of it as making decarbonization incredibly profitable for transportation, energy, oil and gas, electrification, and pretty much scored. I've never been able to do the corporate. I think talk about people who have influenced you. Different projects where I learned fairly early that, if you can just create, and you can incorporate all of the different interests that you have, whether that's, I patented a fuel made from industrial waste from chocolate manufacturing. And then we shot a documentary on it. But to efficacy test, we built out this 92 diesel G-Wagon. We named her Bertha because Bertha Benz, and she was all of that. We ran a 2,000 kilometer off-road all-women's rally race from South Lake Tahoe all the way to Glamis to efficacy test this fuel. So I made all the fuel for it, and it's overland rally, but it's overland nav. So they tape up your dash, and it's just, you have a compass and you have maps and coordinates all. Then there are no roads, and it's great. But in that, it's okay, so you can develop something, you can invent something, and be in that process, which is so fun. Create systems that you actually believe, it's circularity, learn all of those things. If they're aligned, you can do work that's aligned with your values and what you believe in, what you think should exist in the world. But also the creative endeavors of it, where it's all the fun parts of, you can do a documentary on it. Oh, why not just and you can go and create and do, and that's
wow. Well, I'm just smiling listening to you talk because, I'm so glad I asked you this question.
I am too.
And you're very excited about your job.
You
love this job, don't you?
I do. I think it's fun. I think as I've went over the beginning and going that learning moment. So I broke my spine. When I was snowboarding. I know, I fell 30 feet to my head and cracked my spine in half. And that ended that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I learned kind of the art of the pivot. I was okay, I have to figure out what I'm going to do, what my focus is. And I just threw myself into that, which was developing that fuel. And I think it was a year later to the day. It was right before COVID. So January 24th, 2020, I broke my spine. And then
Where were you when you broke it?
I was at Copper.
At Copper.
Yeah. The park there was under construction for Dew Tour the next weekend. And I didn't do my normal, line. So, oh well, it is what it is. But that's fun. There are funny parts of that story, believe it or not. But a year later to the day almost, January 25th, 2021, I filed for my first patent, which was.
And were you employed at that point?
So that was the part, the art, I was like, what am I going to do? It was like, I had to be horizontal, not moving for 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
It was
2 months.
It was brutal.
Oh God.
I know. And so and just that existential, like, what I had wanted to do cosmetic dermatology was really what I thought I was going to do, but I never shut up about like kind of systems design and kind of what was going on in the world and all. I know, and then so
okay,
just
so it goes like this.
I know that's like, but the base was set, which was good, and but I reached out to a woman who I'd met, who I just thought was incredible, and so she became a wonderful mentor of mine.
How did you meet her?
I met her. I had a job in college, and she was building out that G-Wagon. That was her truck because she was a racer, and. Yeah, so I had met her there, and the boss of the owner of that company, he was like, you should stay in touch with her. And he just kind of was like, you should, like, she's somebody that you should keep in touch with. And when I had fallen, and I was laying in that, just, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? What should I do? I just texted, I reached out to her on Instagram. I was like, hey, I don't know what to do. And you're amazing, and I look up to you. Would you chat?
Interesting.
What do you and she goes, yeah, absolutely, send me your CV, send me like a writing sample of something that you've written. And I get a call at like 6 a.m. the next morning. She's like, you're an unemployed biochemist. I was like, yeah. She's like, I need you to be at a photo shoot at 10 a.m. really this morning, Kelly. And I was like, okay. I just went. These people are like, who are you? And I was like, I'm Rhi, hi. And then we met that, and she was like, this is what I want to do. And this is what I think should. And she was like, have you ever done any sort of biochemical engineering on fuels, renewables, biodiesels, anything like that? And I was like, nope, but I'll figure it out. And she was like, done, do it. And
so she was really taken with you.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
And she helped you out.
She really did. I think she was like, she's very, she takes what life is throwing at her, which I enjoy. And she's just like, okay, let's do it. If you're here for a reason. And that, I think, is, going with the serendipity of it all.
I admire that approach to life.
Really?
It's like, well, the train has just stopped. You better jump on it, or else you're going to miss that opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah. Why not? Just go. It's here. It's fun.
I was just telling Trent before you got here that he was asking me how I met my friend that we're going to do this cooking channel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He was in the hospital. He'd just been diagnosed with this very serious illness. And he happened to see a video of me on Instagram baking bread. I was like making cinnamon rolls.
That's so funny.
And he thought I really did a bad job.
But he liked you.
But he thought it was hilarious.
Oh,
so he
that's too
sent me
good.
a message.
Okay, let's do this thing. That's funny. He's like, you're a terrible cook, but I have that part. Let's come on over here.
And
he just wanted to hang out with
I
you.
know.
It's a good thing.
So that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So she's a part of this.
She's not. No. So that was a while ago, and that project. I mean, I learned a lot from that project. I was young as well. There was a lot to kind of go through, and growth as a professional, yes. But it did set me up to kind of. I'd been looking for a long time when I'd been at the club for a bit, and really just like, okay, what is my next?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Been building a couple businesses before that.
So you decided
regenerative farming, and
so you didn't come here for a job, or you came here because you wanted to live in Boulder.
I came here to go to the university. So where can you compete or train for snowboarding that you can actually also go to a research university?
Or you could have gone to DU or C.
CU, exactly. Right. So, and Boulder's lovely. I knew I liked Boulder. That was. Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be an old timer here?
An old timer, I think
there's not a right answer to this question.
Well, so it's a yes and. I think of what I want to do and how I want to like build the life and all of those things. And I think of like my family in France, like a part of like that's a home. Those people are a home. And I miss it.
And you miss it.
And Boston, I miss it.
Such a great
and
city.
here, I would miss it. And so it's like, okay, how can I, build my life, my world around being able to kind of go and do. And I love traveling and I love being in different places. And I love my people so much and they're kind of spread out. So that's...
Well, I think it's going to be an organic process.
I
for
think
you.
you're right.
Like the train will stop, you'll
Yeah.
get on the train and you'll go wherever your next
Yeah,
adventure goes.
I think you're right. 1089's been fun though. That's been a
Yeah.
new one. That was a train stop I'd been looking for. Where I was like, okay, what is the next thing?
Yeah.
And I was careful with it. I had gotten a couple of job offers, and they weren't right. Or I was looking at maybe buying a business, and like I was just looking. It was very much, and it went on for a year, and then it was at the club. And do you know Amanda? The lovely Amanda.
Sure, I know Amanda.
Oh, it was when she was, so you write your obituary when you join. And I loved that process. And she did too. I thought it was such a fun exercise. Or again, talk about envisioning your life. Like you okay, just make it up. And she wanted to hear what everyone else's was. So she had a lunch and we went around and then I heard like 3 keywords and I was like, my head just snapped. And I was like, I need to talk to that person. I ran at the end of it and I grabbed them. I was like, tell me about this thing that you're doing. And we sat outside for 10 minutes, he walked me through what he was doing. And I was like, can I work for you? Like, I have to. It hit the big 3 of what I've been.
I love how the club has these little hubbies.
I know. It has really worked out and it's fun. That's, it has been a learning process for me. It's growing at such a speed and the breadth and the scale of what is going on and the professional level.
Well, you're going to be here for
Challenge.
a while then, I would guess.
Well, I think so. That's a piece of it.
We don't know.
Really. We're scaling it and
Right.
starting to, go
Right.
and move into it's market evolution, but in that it's global market evolution. Yeah. And so that emerging markets, just traveling the world, developing stuff and building things that you believe in and creating a good, it's just like, what do the economics need to look like in order? How do you, what does this have to look like in order to make it work? Money has to work. Green has to be green, has to be financially viable. So
that's probably a good segue into our goodbye. Because
it's over?
Isn't that funny how fast
it's so fast.
It was 45 minutes, but it feels like it goes just like that.
It's so fast.
This is always
That's so funny.
But
It's been fun.
I think it's a fun thing to do. These podcasts. So thank you so much for
Howard,
coming.
thank you for having me.
And perhaps we can, sometimes it's fun to have a second go around with the podcast. So we'll see.
Anytime.
We'll see.
And
Okay.
I'm just glad to hear you'll have me back. That'll be fun.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rhiannon.
Thank you. It was fun.
Great.